I don't know if anybody's even here yet. I mean, honestly, I never know if anybody is even going to show up. It's always a mixed bag. Just full of anxiety. But hey. I gotta plot out some murder mystery stuff. So why not do it possibly with other people? There's the button. Had to find it. Can I just do... I feel like that's too short. How do I thicken lines? Width, here we go. Oh, hey, Discordia. How are you doing? Let's see, suspect. 3 folk in room during the murder. Vampire. Skeleton. Small giant. Come here, little things. There we go. Hey, Dogmatic Director, how you doing? I was thinking about Murder Mystery Game. Have you? Ooh. Is that part of the World of Darkness plotline that you're building? I put it in mind of Murder on the Orient Express, though, about Doctor Who episodes with the mummy on the space train, which led to Spelljammer. Oh, I have not seen that. Which Doctor is that? I haven't seen that one. That sounds cool. Hey, Deebs. Afternoon to you, too. How goes a your day, Deebs? Suspect. Oh, I should probably put name. Tilly. The Viceroy of Brea Murbrig. Murbrig has been murdered. Nope. We just want the rectangle bigger. Shoot. Do I have to separate this? do. Okay, that's fine. There's probably a better way to do that. Send me the trailer for the episode. Oh, it's Capaldi. Okay, I haven't seen any Capaldi. I haven't seen Capaldi or the lady who's currently the newest one, but I think there's a new one on the way. I'll have to watch that trailer after this. Suspect. Tilly's brother. Motive. Oh, what's Tilly's brother? Elton. Tilly's younger brother. Might also have older brother, but... Hey, how's it going, Tonal? It got pretty bad when Chibnall took over? I don't know who Chibnall is. I don't think I could do a good bitter mystery. Fun fact, Deebs. I don't think I can either, which is why I'm trying this. Because here's my ideas. Is one of the fun things I like about interactive media, and one of the reasons I'm more comfortable with trying it versus like writing a murder mystery novel, is the interactive elements and the players. Like a lot of things in RPGs, I have it set up so if I want to change something behind the scenes and the players never know, I can. So if a new character gets introduced or a player does something, or something happens to where I have it set up so the king's brother is the murderer, but it would just be thematically better or tonally better or be more rewarding for the players if this other person was the killer, I can change that. My plan is to have several people have full motive and could be behind it. And then be able to kind of move those pieces around. I'll have an idea of who I want it to be, but I want that to be a little more fluid. Important thing about murder mystery is motivation. That is 100% true. Motivation is very, very true. If you have a murder mystery without motives that are strong and understandable, that's rough. This person outside my window. Just recently solved a murder as my Ice Gensai private investigator. Lots of fun. Investigation is one skill he has expertise in. Ooh. Did your Ice Gensai have a fun what you call it name? Like there was a ghost. One of the campaigns I ran, a player had a ghost private eye who was murdered and was trying to solve their own murder as part of the their story. Named Dick Magnum, which I thought was very funny. Also a good name for a ghost detective, Columbu. Just putting that out there if you ever want to use it. Good idea to have multiple people once victim dead. Absolutely. The end of Clue. Yeah, that's a great one. Clue is such a good movie. His first directing a show now. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Clue is a great example of like the pieces are arranged in such a way that any of these would work. And Clue is just such a good movie. And I'm a person also, to the subject deeps, I'm not really a big murder mystery fan. Like I don't really watch murder mysteries. I'm not really into them. Why does this one have a border and this one doesn't? Because I want this one to have a border. That's weird. But yeah, so yeah, all those pieces can be moved around, like, and everybody has motive, everybody has opportunity, at least for part of it. It's really good. His name is Kalda Ishard. I actually gave myself the Columbo style just one more thing. When I checked one detail that unraveled the whole mystery. Nice. I'm the same. Something about murder mystery fails to hold me. Yeah, exactly. It's just like the whodunit isn't that interesting to me. The howdunit of like Columbo and Poker Face is more interesting to me because that's more about character drama than the mystery itself. So things like Clue, Altered Carbon, Knives Out, those I think are all fantastic murder mysteries. Because the mystery is a secondary function of the story and the world. I do enjoy a good murder mystery. I don't consume them terribly often. Valid. I'm curious why you don't consume them that often if you really like them. Because I don't consume that often, but that's just not a big fan. I was saying some, let's see. Are you doing this Photoshop? It is Affinity Designer. So it's sort of like Photoshop, but you only pay for it once. And it's really good. I just don't get into the why done it of El Emilio? I don't know what that is. How done it is are good. I was into a series that had murder mystery like storytelling, and I would always read the end to turn it into how done it. Oh, that's fun. I like that. That's a good idea. Guess you don't cross my path that often. You gotta tell the algorithm. It'll put it in your path. You let that algorithm know. When all the suspects have magic, that is less important than motive. Don't actively avoid them, but don't seek them out. Fair. That's nice, but politically. So, here are my major suspects. Oh, it's kind of... Okay, one thing I will say about Affinity, which is being a problem, is every time I click on this, it shoots it to the very bottom. That's a big deal. It's not good. I want to play the new not Danganronpa game to get some murder mystery in. Ooh. Yeah, Rat Beach was playing that, right? Alright, so suspect. It's not what I want. Alright, let's separate these layers. Separate these oh, they're both selected. Separate these layers. Just want this one. Affinity, I was just talking good about you, and now you're gonna do this? There we go. There we go. I need you right here. There we go. Now these are linked together. Oh yeah, she finished the other day. Ooh, cool. What did she think about it? Because my partner loves Danganronpa. So, did she beat the second one? I think she beat the second one. And I think she has the third one, but hasn't started it. Okay, so the main suspects I need are the 3 player characters who were in the room during the murder. We have Tilly's brother, or younger brother, who is also royalty, Tilly being the viceroy of Brea Murbreg. There needs to be a space in there. And so, very clear that, like, they're political opposites. Tilly wanted to give power to the people, giving a lot of power to organizations within Brea Murbreg and giving them autonomy, where Elton very much wants, like, no, we want to consolidate power, we want to keep power, we have power for a reason, we don't want people who don't know how to rule making ruling decisions. That's a terrible idea. So that's one thing. I know we talked about before, when I mentioned this earlier, on a much earlier stream. That we want someone from a guild. She really liked it and hopes that they do more. Not quite as good as Danganronpa, but still good stuff. Okay. From what I hear, Danganronpa is a pretty high bar, so good but not as good still sounds like pretty good. Also, guys, I was watching a video on Twisted Metal while I was doing other stuff, so I have it on the mind. Why do we not have a car combat roguelike game? Like, the format of Twisted Metal with arcade style, you know, short death matches, not really huge in the right now sort of zeitgeist of video games. But there's a genre where those small segmented snippets linked together through something else thrives, and that's in roguelikes. And also, starting off, a lot of those games you start at 0, and then you get your weapons and stuff and you build up from there. Again, could be very roguelike-y. I feel like we are well overdue for a car combat, or Twisted Metal being car combat genre, roguelike. Because it would marry those ideas really well together, I think. I definitely want that. Why doesn't that exist? I'll help make it. Someone hire me. Alright, what's a good guild? Let's just do guilds. Can I spell guilds? Guilds? We're just gonna move this over here. So we've got, let's do building. So like architecture, stuff like that. Like well, so let's say structure building. Let's do medical. These aren't like their names, but like their general purpose. I feel like medical is one. I guess you could have like entertainment be its own thing, where you have like, let's say arts and entertainment. So you have your artists and your entertainers. And that's everything from, like player actors to mimes, to sculptors to painters. Video game designers in our fantasy world. This is in a fantasy world, so. So let's do smiths. Smiths and forging. So I'll give both that. I feel like general maintenance is something that gets overlooked, but is very important. So, like, you have the people... Smith, I guess that could fall under smiths and forging, where it's like smiths, forging, and maintenance. That's my slack. It's nice about maintenance. Because, you know, some people are going to build the thing, but some people are going to fix the thing. They don't necessarily have to be the same people. We don't use Slack anymore, but I still react every time. Fair. All right. So we're going to move this over. I feel like I'm thinking structure and building is kind of the obvious one, where if you're going to have a person who's in charge of a thing to be the murderer and go, oh, we wanted to build stuff and, you know, it's safer and more profitable to have a giant kingdom as that you're doing contracts for versus a bunch of smaller individual things. I feel like arts and entertainment, you could make that really fun and give that person like a dramatic flair, but I don't feel that. Smith's forging and maintenance, I feel like have a better stance of diversifying. I feel like medical is the way to go, and that the idea being the person in charge of this guild is like, hey, sometimes you have to make unethical decisions, and the giant kingdom will help you cover that up and will give you the go-ahead, the clearance, and the forgiveness to do that for the greater good, versus having to play to the court of public appeal and public persona and like mob justice and all of that. And so this person going, all right, we need one person over us. And if that falls apart, we're in trouble. So I need a good medical practitioner. Definitely doctor. I kind of want to go with a silly name like Dr. Beefcakes and just have like a completely jacked doctor. And then that could also be fun if they do turn out to be the murderer, or if they have to fight the players. Oh man, then they have someone that's actually kind of intimidating. But I feel like Dr. Beefcakes is too obvious of a name. What's a good pseudonym? What's a good, like, secondary? We're going to Thesaurus. For cake. Chirurgian? What is that word? Chirurgian? Ooh. Okay, here's the problem with that. I'm gonna have to pronounce it. But what if? How's this for a name? You ready for this? Chirurgian Brickloaf. Does that work as a name? Is that a good name? Chirurgian Brickloaf? How do you say that? Hang on. Dang it. Chirurgian. Alright, music, hang on. We gotta listen very carefully to this.
Chirurgeon.
Chirurgeon. Okay.
Chirurgeon.
I could say chirurgeon.
Chirurgeon.
Okay. That's a very sayable word. I do have it. Let's see. How did they... That's how they say ka? Alright. Chirurgeon Brickloaf. Head of... Medical Guild. Paging Dr. Brickloaf. Paging Dr. Brickloaf. You are needed in surgery. Dr. Brickloaf is needed in surgery. I need some good weapons for Dr. Brickloaf, too. Oh, good. I feel like scalpels are a little too obvious. Okay, head of medical guild. Let's see. We're gonna go with motive. Wants single entity. Hey, Besmirch, how are you doing? Let's see. Easier to do unethical things and for true advancement without dealing with public backlash and get aid in cover-ups. Ooh, so now we gotta, what's the sort of shenanigans that this guy's getting into? This guy, gal, or non-binary pal. Well, they might be a murderer. They might not be a pal. That's... Look. Absolute beefcake. What's a good beefcake? I mean, I could make them an orc. Classic beefcake. Could be a giant. I want to lean away from magic for this particular person. Chirurgeon. I love the name Chirurgeon. Beef loaf or brick loaf. course. Broad shoulders. Big hands. The biggest hands for the biggest surgeries. That's what Brickloaf is doing. Ooh. Get out of here. Gotta have exact, delicate movements when needed. I'm gonna make him an orc for now. I'm trying to think of what's another one. Chilling. Hey, Lost Cause. How you doing? I love tusks. I love those, like, the lower canines. Love them. So we're gonna give this person tusks. Dr. Chirurgeon Brickloaf. Okay. Now here's fun. This will be a good, like, pointing towards Chirurgeon is that the Viceroy, Tilly, was poisoned. Who knows about poison? Medical professionals. So, that's good. Jag Hut vibes? What's a Jag Hut? Should I know? Whoops. I need this to stretch a little further. There we go. Oh, Jagut. Yeah. That, but they're kind of orcish, right? Like, they're like, a more like, generally more like the beefier, bigger kind of humanoids with tusks. Because they're, am I remembering that wrong? The Jagut? If I've only read the first one, so. Let's move this over. All right, we could build more guilds, but I'm kind of curious about. Ooh, let's have a warring. Like a neighboring state. Oh, shh. Don't look at my secret projects that I totally told you all about that I was doing. Not really. If I need a comparison point, I tend to think of Warcraft trolls. Oh, okay. The only thing I know about Warcraft trolls is they have tusks and Jamaican accents? Right? They're the ones with Jamaican accents? I've played Hearthstone. So there's my best. Tusks and blue skin. Oh, okay. What was I doing? Oh, right. I need to go into... I feel like I've heard this song in an indie game somewhere. Like Moving Out or Tools Up or something. One of those goopy games about doing stuff. It also sounds like My Guy. desktop. There we go. Tusks, blue, green, or purple skin, Jamaican accents, island jungle culture. Is that why they have Jamaican accents? They're like, from an island? Jamaican? I used to be a troll druid in WoW. Oh, you played WoW? So many people played WoW. Reminds me of a starting level. I just don't know where. Yeah, right? Like, it has that sort of vibe to it. Like, you gotta get into the feel of it. I don't know how, but I ripped some skin off the bottom of my foot, and it hurts, and I need to put a Band-Aid on it. I think so. Not the best design, but that's a lot of horde races. What do they have? Blood elves? They have goblins, orcs. Oh, the undead? There's another one in there. Or two. Werewolves? Oh, Tauren? Yeah, Tauren. Cow people are Native Americans. Yeah, that was a vibe I got from Warcraft. My limited time in World of Warcraft. Is like, these are very clearly coded. Like, and like specifically, like, not like, oh, we'll borrow elements from a few things. It's like, this is Native American. What was I doing? But I also didn't spend a lot of time in it, so I might be wrong. But I feel like that was a big thing. Not that it was an excuse of like, oh, so it was fine. But that idea of like totally coded cultures and races in games at that time. They were like, oh, we need people to be very different. Oh, well, let's make them Indian. Let's make them let's make them Native American. Let's make them Chinese. Let's make them, like, they were just, or actually, Chinese is probably too specific. I think they would probably go, let's make them Asian, and then do that. It was like a lot of that going on. Not to say it's not still going on. It is. But I feel like it's a little better now. Orcs have some rough stereotypes. I think they're broken away from. Goblins are greedy hordes. Blood elves are manic drug addicts. And undead are always betraying people. I need to get my map. There it is. So who's close? Okay, we have Dickin' Around Town, Salt Fake City, Liberton. Okay, so we could have someone across the bay right here. Dickin' Around Town wouldn't, I don't feel like, is the kind of people that would mess up Brammerbreg. Okay, but there's a place right here that would be outside of the Sodogum Kingdom. That maybe they could, so I could make up a new place right there. Zindio is too far away. Same with Whalefall Cove. So we could make up whatever this place is right here. Salt Fake City could work as a good foil. Horde is full issues, still like them over the Alliance, just really enjoy troll aesthetics and vibes. Yeah, I mean, they do have some really cool stuff. I also, from my limited time, also like the Horde better. Because I feel like the Horde, while coded, was like, hey, different types of people coming together under a banner. Versus whenever I'd look at the Alliance, and it would be like, it definitely felt more like, hey, the glory of American imperialism reimagined. Like, that's kind of how it felt. It was like, everybody was a little different, but they were all like, yeah, but we're the best, and like, you know, we just kind of do this thing, and like, they didn't have that sort of individuality. But again, I know nothing about Warcraft, and I played very little of World of Warcraft. But the vibes I got were very much like the idea of unification through, like, oh, what's that word? Homogenization? Unification through homogenization, I think is what I was going for. Where it's like you had technically different things, but they all kind of feel the same. Yeah, it was a melting pot trying to work together and not a bunch of human adjacent people killing said melting pot. Yeah, exactly. Good to know I wasn't the only one who felt that way. My tear ducts just itched so bad right there. Hey, Pacific Blue, how are you doing? Love beetles? Do you love the bugs? The car? Is that a catchphrase? Is that just a greeting? I don't know. Turns out the killer was Gal Gadot. Is that a spoiler? For the train movie? Or should I just have Gal Gadot just be the killer? Alright, we need... Okay, actually, we could make it Learbotten. Because a huge thing for Learbotten was outsourcing clay. So like clay, bricks, things made from mud. And they could be the sole supplier for Sotor Gum. And maybe this disruption in Maya Brea Murbreg. Boy, I need to pick easier things to say. Everything is called Pondwater Lake now. Could be like, oh, this could disrupt our way of living. And like, yeah, we did absolutely hire this guy so that to murder this other guy. But like, we have a sleeping kaiju under our city. And like, if we can't pay the bills, we can't feed it properly. And then the whole world's in trouble. So really one murder to keep one, one, one dynasty still up. Like, yeah, this isn't that big. I kind of like this. We could have officials from there. Oh, I do need. What? Wonder Woman? Officials from Learbotten. I also like the idea of using Learbotten rather than just making up a place. Because I feel like it's already got some establishedness to it. Does it paradising? Maybe? I mean, I feel like murder shouldn't be justified, but yeah, that they want to keep the establishment because it's aiding them, and they need to be aided so they can keep this monster from waking up. Feared Tilly's. Distribution of power. Needs it kept up. Feed the monster. So they have it. They need it kept up. Feed the monster. One death, even a murder, is worth safety of the world. So a real ends justify the means sort of thing. So that's their motive, and then I can make some specific officials for... Nope, wrong one. There we go. All right. I don't want to give too many people. I feel like someone inside the castle itself is another person they can have as a suspect. Like chief of staff or the butler. Like someone within the directly with Tilly in the castle. So who works with a viceroy? Who would be a good person for that? Someone that has to be able to gain something. So it wouldn't be like the head chef. It's like they would have to have just a super grudge. Because their position, if all of Tilly's plans go for distribution of power go through, like what would the head chef lose? Probably nothing. I mean, I could make it so they would lose something, but that seems like it would be kind of convoluted. And I want them to have a clear, definite one. Lieutenant? Ooh. Okay, so someone in like military power is a really good choice. I feel like that's a little on the nose for me to be like, the military is bad. Or someone in the military is bad. But also, very easily could work because you could have someone that would have the belief of like, there is strength in unification, there is strength in numbers, there is strength in having a united kingdom versus a bunch of separate entities that can squabble. That's good. I like that. You know, I feel like that's a good and clear one for them. Whoever is under them. I don't know how military structure works. Military hierarchy structure? I was looking for like an infograph. Okay, here we go. Military. Well, this is American military, but whatever, that's fine. Okay, so private first class, specialist, corporal, stash sergeant, sergeant first class, master sergeant, first sergeant, sergeant major, command sergeant major. I'm starting to understand why I didn't know what all of this was, what the thing was. This is a lot of titles with a lot of overlapping words. Sergeant Major of the Army, which is different than Sergeant Major, which is 2 steps away from Sergeant Major of the Army, with Command Sergeant Major in between. Warrant Officer 5. Where's Warrant Officer 1 through 4? Okay. Second Lieutenant. First Lieutenant. Alright, cool. Oh, this rabbit hole? Yeah, try to figure out the right name to have. First Lieutenant. Captain. I didn't know Captain was above Lieutenant. I thought Lieutenant was above Captain. Huh. Different for each branch and and then each country. Yeah, I figured with each one you're gonna be different. But this was the first infographic I got, so I'm okay with this. Captain, Major, Lieutenant Colonel, Colonel, Brigadier General, Major General. Where's Master Chief? False flag operation by, the Gets Who Hate Ticket Around Town? Oh, wait, Discordia. So you're saying someone killed Tilly and then would plant evidence to be like, it was ticking around town. Look, they did it. Is that what you mean? Because Salt Fake City could do that. There could be people in Salt Fake City that were like, Master Chief is under Navy rules. Okay, that makes sense then, because that's in space, and I feel like a lot of times space stuff has Navy names. Alright, so what's this one? Oh, this is pay grades. I don't need pay grades. Field Army Corps Division. Okay, that looks too small. This is a big chart. Fire Team, Squad, Platoon, Company. This is not what I'm looking for. Organization of the U.S. Army. Chief of Staff. Yeah, I'm just going to stick to this one because it's actually so far the easiest. Okay, so let's say... So, yeah. Okay, First Lieutenant, Lieutenant General, General, Army Chief of Staff, General of the Army. Okay. So I guess the General would probably be the person. Or the military chief. Commander of the Guard? Can we make up our own name? Let's see, Commander of the Guard. Because I like making things up. That sounds like a real title. It probably is. Now I have to think of who this person is. Which I feel like if Dr. Chirurgeon, gotta remember how to say that, Chirurgeon Brickloaf is a super beefcake. Maybe we should make the military person less beefy. Canada Guard is a title, but I do not know where it goes in the command chain. Well, in this case, it's going to be very high up in whatever Sodor Gum's military chain is, which at some point maybe I'll have to make. Oh, shoot. That's a sound I've now heard. Kofi, it logged me out for some reason. I gotta log back in so I can look at this. and say thank you officially. Aw, it was besmirch. Says have a coffee. Thank you. I already had my coffee, but retroactively I will now have a coffee. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I think it sounds like a night title. It does kind of sound like a night title. We could change it. Like Director of Defenses. I like that. Director of Defenses. Because now it sounds more passive and less aggressive. Like, oh no, we're not the Kill Brigade. I'm the Director of Defenses. If somebody attacks us, then I know what to do and step in. Versus, you know, Kill Brigade. They could do the exact same thing. It's just a much softer name. Which I feel like makes it all the better if they are the one that's doing dirty deeds. Because it's fun to have a soft name but do bad things. Or be Chirurgeon Bricklove. Because that's just a good name. Alright, Director of Defenses. Needs a name. Believes unification through monarchy is best way to remain peaceful and in power. Because Sodor Gum, which is what Tilly is a viceroy of one of the places within that, have a soft name and do bad things. Teddy Roosevelt, probably. Yep. Soft name, do bad things. Director, you know, it's like Benson Fluffnutter, like Director of Defenses. Like it's a pretty easy name. I feel like this person could be a magic wielder, where the doctor is a beefcake. I feel like Director of Defenses could bring the pain with some magic. Also, Fluffernutter, isn't that like a candy? Hang on. Let me do this off screen in case I get this wrong. Fluffernutter. It's a sandwich. Oh. It's a peanut butter and marshmallow sandwich. Okay, that was totally safe for work. I didn't have to do that off screen. But I wanted to make sure. Yeah. All right. Benton instead of Benson. Fluffernutter. Why would this person do bad things? How could someone named Fluffernutter kill someone? What kind of magic should they focus on? Who's asking about Fluffernutters? I was trying to remember what I called the person Benson Fluffernutter, and I was like, what's a Fluffernutter? Why is that in my head? And I couldn't remember, and the answer was it's a sandwich. I did not have they looked good. I had peanut butter and banana sandwiches, and I still love those to this day. They're adjunct. Aide de camp. Batman? Nobody ever knows what I'm talking about in case... I guess it's a regional thing. I've heard them as fluffernutters too, and I just forgot what that word meant. So, if it's regional, then it was also made its way to Ohio from wherever you heard it. But if that was East Coast, it would make sense why I'd make it to Ohio. Peanut banana is also good. Oh, it's so good. You get that sweetness from the banana. Really, just kind of aids in the peanut butter, and the banana is like really creamy when you chew it, so it like adds a nice layer of like sweet mush to the peanut butter. God, so good. I love peanut butter and banana. Scrolls back up at the mention of Lieutenant. See how far behind the chat Jesse is now. I am right here. Lieutenant was like 10 minutes ago. Are you... Discordia, are you paused and watching the stream like 5 minutes behind by accident? Although I probably said Lieutenant several times since I initially brought it up, so maybe not. Because today, I'm actually pretty on it with chat. That's also because it's pretty quiet, but hey. I'm going to be honest. Doing the YouTube thing, I really miss Twitch. Like, it is... It's... Like... I don't have a huge audience, so it's not like, oh yeah. But it's like, I get... What was it, like 11 to 13 people yesterday? And it's like, I think 6 on here now. And it's like, that's a noticeable difference. And it is something that, like, no matter how I slice it, I still feel it. And I feel like I have failed in some capacity. Where it's like, when I'm not streaming on that. Sorry. That did not sound like what it was for a moment. Yeah, like, I feel like I have failed at some capacity. And that's a hard part about streaming on just YouTube. Which, honestly, 6 is like right up there with the highest number I've had on YouTube, which is pretty cool. Is anyone else dealing with lag tonight, or is it my connection? I think part of it is Twitch sends notifications when you go live on, and YouTube doesn't. That's also true. I do not know why. Refreshing the page seems to help. Welcome back to the present. Yeah, I think that is part of it. But yeah, it's a bummer because I worked hard to get Twitch up, and like now it's like, oh, do I have to abandon it? And like trying to rebuild somewhere else, it hurts. Like it's a painful thing to do. I was freezing every 5 seconds. Oh. That was fake freeze. It's okay. Dang. I'm sorry. Sorry it's being a butt to you. Also, I feel like people are having more problems on YouTube than they used to. Or maybe it's just because there's more people here, so I'm more aware of the problems. Also, do you all get ads mid-stream? Okay, Magic User focuses on, I definitely don't want it to be Chronomancy, because I specifically want a, seems to be working now? Hey, good. I specifically want a Chronomancer to be a foil for them in a later part of the campaign, after this murder mystery, or if they don't solve it. To be like a secondary thing during the murder mystery. Because it looks like they're going to actually just try and solve the mystery while they're still in the castle, which I was very surprised by. I don't, but my ad blocker works on YouTube. See, that's the thing. Everyone I know also has a YouTube ad blocker. And so I do not know if these streams have ads on them or not. Or like escape a stream and stuff. I don't know if they play ads. Okay, I know it. Focuses on Sonic magic. Because for a person who is dealing with ordering people around and like relaying information, I feel like sound-based magic would be extremely useful. And like being someone that like maybe started, you know, lower in the military and worked their way up as like rather than a soldier being a relayer of information, and then also like but people, well, loud sonic attack, but like being able to use sound-based magic, not hedgehog magic. Maybe that could be secondary. Okay. Also, that means I give them a look of like full military blues, but as a wizard robe. So you have your little like, you have little things on the collar, all your awards, that strap on the sleeve. These all have names and they all have purposes. I just do not know what they are. But as like a shoulder pad blazer, as a shoulder pad blazer wizard robe. So like think the military blazer as a wizard robe. Maybe also has stars and moons on it. Can you do like an army cap with a cone on it that kind of flops over? Is that a thing you could do? Yep, that's not what I wanted. I need you to... There we go. See, that one's on the outside. That's not what I want. I'm going insane. I keep seeing chat scrolling out of the corner of my eye, and then I check and it hasn't moved. And that is driving me wild. Sorry, but what is sonic magic? That's new to me. So the idea is like magic that deals with sound. So you have like carrying your voice a long distance, loud noises, sonic booms. So kind of an offshoot of or related to air magic. So anything that has to do with sound. I guess not technically anything, but like, and also you could do the removal of sound. So that would be an extremely useful thing, is like, oh, what's a great way to disrupt your enemies? Put a big cube of silence around them so now they can't verbally communicate, or do something that blocks sound from traveling far, so I can't shout to someone a few people over. In order to relay something verbally, you have to be in extremely close proximity. The chat on stream seems to be extremely delayed in updating. Maybe that's why. It does take a little bit, but I have the like YouTube chat over here, which is moving at, I think, the speed it's supposed to. And then the restream chat over here, which is what my eye is catching. But then it won't move. But you're right, there is like probably a 7 or 10 second delay from when someone puts something in YouTube to when it's going to show up in the restream chat. Make it so no one can hear their victim. Okay, got it. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. You could be like, oh, I'm going to stab you. And like, here's the best silencer ever. Silence. Magical silence. And then when you shoot the gun, that is also silent. And the person goes. And then, you know, just walk away. If you could also do something with, like, you know, cleanup magic. Is that its own school? Can we have the school of cleanup magic? I feel like that would be nice. I forget where I was going with this. Oh, Sonic magic. Okay. Let's see. Drag this over. Give myself a little bit of room. It wasn't soldier. Was lower general, worked way up. Was in many battles. Alright, now I gotta drag this to make it fit. Whoop, there we go. And that's why I'm doing it in this program. I don't know cleanup magic didn't work for Mickey too well. If memories are, was that Fantasia? I haven't seen Fantasia, but that's the one where he casts a spell on like mops and brooms. Does that go wrong? I've only ever seen that in clips, and there's just like mops and brooms cleaning. Or am I thinking of Sword in the Stone? Or Sorcerer's Apprentice, the Nick Cage movie. I think that also had a broom that was sweeping itself. Does it end bad? Fantasia did not go well for Mickey. No. Oh no, what happened to Mickey? I've never seen Fantasia. I don't know what happens in this movie. I'm very curious now how the cleaning magic goes terribly wrong. Okay, so we have our technically 5 major suspects. Well, these are 3 people. Okay, we have our and these are also multiple people. So we have our suspect list. And technically more here, but we're going to say I'm not going to make them like basically like when they figure out guilds, I'm going to go give them a check and then we'll narrow down to Dr. Chirurgeon. If I could spoil brooms and other cleaning items, revolt. Oh. They revolt. Is freaking tired of cleaning? They're like, this is horse hockey. We're not doing this. Problem is when you set up cleaning magic on autopilot, then fall asleep, so nobody is there to stop when the job is done. It's like a dishwasher that never knows, that doesn't have a timer. It's just like spray water and soap, spray water and soap, spray water and soap. Like that sort of a thing. All right. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major groups. So we have the player characters, which, fun thing, I could ask the players and be like, hey, do you want to be the murderer? So I could actually have one of them be the murderer if they're like, oh yeah, I'll make that into my backstory. That's not what I want to do. I have an idea for something like that later on. But they're a group of 3. One could be a murderer group. So suspects, the 3 player characters, who are a vampire, a skeleton, and a runt giant. So vampire, not generally big. Smitch ruining the floor and getting at it, dude. That's funny. So vampires, definitely a thing. Skeleton, often not looked on fondly. And the skeleton was actually raised from a necromancer to do evil things. And then after the evil necromancer fell, the skeleton gained awareness and sapience and stuff, and is now their own thing. But, like, had technically the same body that had done bad things. And then a small giant. Guess it depends how you feel about it. Okay, so that's one. So Tilly's brother, who is definitely a suspect and is like political opposites with Tilly. We have Dr. Chirurgeon, who wants to be able to do unethical things and only deal with the crown. We got the officials from Learbotten, who fear the distribution of power, and that'll disrupt their contracts with Sotergom. And they need to keep the monster at bay, so they need money for that. And the Director of Defenses, who thinks there's a unification through the monarchy. So that's pretty good. That's 4 people with good motives, good power, and all of them can have opportunity. Oh, the Retro 3MR was released today. Oh, that's cool. Thank you very much. Jesse. It's fine. Thank you. It was really fun. That's why I was playing. For those who aren't part of the Patreon or didn't see yet. So there's a 3MR, a retro 3MR about Silent Hill 3 because it came out 20 years ago. It came out August 5th, 2023. I assume that's going to be the day that they make it out for everybody. But apparently today it's out for patrons. Yeah, the idea was to see if there might be a market for retro 3MRs. And so one of the ones on the list was that Marty made a big list and was like, here's a bunch of stuff with anniversaries coming up. And one was Silent Hill 3. And I was like, yes! Like, an excuse to play a Silent Hill game. I am going to take it. So I did that and made a 3MR on it that Besmirch liked. So that's cool. Spoilers for the review. I say look it up, but worth playing. Still top tier horror. Definitely got its issues. I was talking to I can explain a little more about this. I'll give it a comment and a subscribe. Thanks. Give it that subscribe. A thing I was talking to about with my partner. We were driving somewhere. Because I talk to her about everything. It's like, shh, don't tell anybody this. But is that story, while it is so good and very deep and meaningful, it is incredibly thin. Like, there is so little story that happens within the game, but there's so much implied and so much implication on what does happen that it keeps your mind spinning about it. And there are a bunch of little things that are connected, and that you're creating this connective tissue for all these other things, for these different themes, where you have a story of, you know, a girl and like how other people are dictating how she can use her body, like their expectations for her and her body. Like there's all these different things of, like, you have the church, which is saying you cannot when it comes out, I'm probably going to make this as a tweet, but it's like it's not just a game about a woman being denied the right to I forget how to phrase this, but it's not just a game about a woman being denied the right to choose whether to give birth or not, and being from a religion, but it is also a game about a woman being denied, or a child being denied, the right to choose what to do with her body from a church. So that's one aspect of it. There's a person who's like writing some real creepy poetry and like real creepy logs about Heather, who is 17 in the game, and like that level of like expectation and like voyeurism and like just a lot of heavy issues that when you put them all together, you see as a broader scope, but within the game itself aren't super in-depth individually. It's a really good game. Yeah, it's currently on Patreon, Deeps, but it'll come out, hopefully. I don't know why they wouldn't release it for everybody. Probably on the 5th, but maybe a different time. Speaking of Silent Hill, what are your hopes on the remake? I really wish Bloober Team would have produced at least one game that I liked. I haven't played all their games, but all their stuff I have played, I really did not enjoy. So, honestly, my expectations are pretty low. I don't think... I honestly, I don't think they're going to make a great game. I think it's going to be... There are elements of it that are going to be great because they are taking from a source material that is very good. And so you can have things that should work, but I feel like they are not going to pull it off. I really don't. I would love to be pleasantly surprised. I would love to be like, holy crap, this game is amazing. They hit all of these heavy subject matter really well. Everything comes together in a unified, creepy, and meaningful vision. But I don't expect that. There's so much about like trauma and fear and guilt in that game from so many angles. And I just haven't seen them be able to tackle that heavy subject matter. Because, like, just dealing with characters, like James, oh shoot, what's her name? Oh my gosh, what's her name? Eddie's the other guy, and then Angela? The lady who you meet in the graveyard, like the first person you meet. Like their stories just have such meaning to them and are so multi-layered and fit together in such an odd but understanding way. And I feel like it's weird nuances like that throughout the game that help make it a better experience as a whole. That I feel like they're not going to do. I feel like the subtle, lingering horror that Silent Hill 2 has is not something that they've been able to replicate in any of their other horror-driven games. Didn't feel that when I played the Medium. I didn't feel it in Layers of Fear. I haven't seen it in some of the other games that I've looked into from them. It's just it just never has that spark. It never has that goodness to it. That thing, that's something. And so I don't think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be a puppeted corpse. That's like, look at me, I'm just like the original, but it's very clearly not. Again, would love to be wrong. Nothing would make me happier than to go, it's a great remake. But yeah, Lost, I don't think it's gonna be good. I think that was a ultimately poor choice of someone to handle the remake. Other things I'm looking forward to in the new Silent Hill stuff, though. So, like, Townfall, absolutely know nothing about it, but I am looking forward to it. F could be great. Looking forward to that. Ascension could be really cool. So I have higher expectations for all of those. Especially Townfall, because that's made by the people that did Observation. And I absolutely want more from those people. Yeah, expectation based on what I've seen from Bloober Team thus far has been very low. Yeah. And there's things about it that, like, don't translate well to the modern age, and I don't know how they're going to update it. And I feel like that's going to be a problem with whoever did the remake. That's going to be a problem. Like, the combat, playing through 3, man, the combat was so clunky, and, like, that control scheme was so weird, and it made sense at the time, and I was used to it at the time, but, like, playing through it now, it was harder to get into. And, like, but that's also how they controlled camera angles and, like, enemy placement and level design. So if you change that, you can't just be like, oh, but it's the same, we'll just use the same levels. Like, as soon as you move to like a you know, behind the person constantly 3D camera or first person, like, your levels no longer work because they were built around a specific camera. So you'd have to change them appropriately. I don't know if they're gonna do that very well. I don't remember which is which, but I remember one of them looking really good and creepy of the upcoming Silent Hill. Yeah, the cinematic trailer for F did look really good. And they played the original theme on that instrument. It's a stringed instrument. I forget what it's called. It's like a 3-string. I don't remember what it's called. But it's that, and it sounded really good. I'm really hoping. And that monster with the, like, cherry blossom design, very creepy, very cool. I do have high hopes for that. So, and that one had, I think that was the only one with, like, a proper trailer. The other ones had, like, more teasers. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to new Silent Hill games. Unfortunately, I do not think the remake will be good. Again, would love to be wrong. But if I thought I was wrong, I would say something more positive. But a positive note, I will probably get more merchandise that's themed around Silent Hill that I can buy and wear and be like, and have and be like, woo. So, like, hey, cool. Even if it's garbage, if I get a cool Pyramid Head t-shirt out of it. Was it all bad? I am 90% certain this song was in Jet Set Radio. You set my PS3 to play through Silent Hill 2. Does your PS3 play PS2 discs? Yeah, it's a very crappy game. 2 is great. 3 is just played it really great. Jet Set Radio. I want to replay 1 because I loved it back in the day, and I desperately want to see how it holds up. But that one's even harder to get than 2 and 3. Fun fact, 2 and 3, the PC versions are on myabandonware.com. So if you would like to play those on your computer, you can do that. That's how I was playing 3. Was from my abandonware. Maybe Jet Set Radio 2? Oh, I've never played Jet Set Radio 2. Jet Set Future? I think it was called. But this sound that's happening in this song, there's a song in Jet Set Radio that has a noise progression and sound very similar to that. When I bought PS3, specifically went to and find eBay that still had the backwards compatibility because they wanted to play Kingdom Hearts. Oh, okay, so it's the old style, like the original, like big round ones, the like George Foreman grill ones. I've never actually played a PS3 game. You should do it. There's some good ones. God of War 3 and Dante's Inferno being 2 of them. Yeah, it's pretty beefy. I have the Slim, the PS3 Slim, and it's still not a small piece of hardware. It's probably a little bigger than the PS2. So it's smaller than an Xbox. But what isn't? Seeing my basement untouched for a while, so it still turns on, hopefully. But yeah, so I'm glad you liked that review. And yeah, Silent Hill 3 holds up, even with its problems. Starhawk is a recommendation of mine for PS3. That is, hey Blake, that is by one of the producers of the original Twisted Metal, I think. Because it's a spiritual sequel to, or successor to Warhawk. I do need to play God of War 3 at some point. I did start that one, but it was after like 10-hour marathon of playing. Sorry, God of War 2 and needed a break for that game. Yeah, that's fair. To be honest, out of the original 3 was my favorite. I thought it was story-wise and gameplay-wise, it was the most enjoyable. And honestly, I just as fun as Dante's Inferno. I really like Dante's Inferno. 2 thumbs up. That game is good. That last section is that like hour and a half section of the trials. Clear padding, not very fun. Do need to switch your little things around to get it to beat some of those sections. But like even with that, yeah, it was still really good. It was still on par with God of War 3. Very fun action. And God of War 1 and 2, also good. No slouch. I feel like 3 is the best. 1 is probably the second best. 2 is still good. Even though it's my least favorite out of the 3, it was still good. Yeah, very fun. Played on 360, nice. Yeah, it's a good game. A cinematic action yeehaw good time. Like it's really good. What's up, Talion? I couldn't push buttons fast enough to get through the first boss fight in God of War. You got to do the thing where you tap the back. So you get 4 times as many taps on the front of the controller. So you're like, where you got it like this, and you're like, or wait, no, you gotta do it upside down. So you're holding it like this, and it's like buttons right here, and you go like, So you're getting 4 times as much. Italian, I imagine you pushing the controller like this. Like you're like, smash it. Also, I have sparkly purple nail polish on, which is cool. But I realize I did not have enough light when I put it on yesterday, and I can definitely see some thin areas that I need to touch up. Any game that opens with having a murder... having you murder Death and stealing his dope-ass bone scythe is a good game in my book. Yeah, that game starts hard and does not stop. And it's a good opening. The whole thing is kind of silly, and I feel like Dante's design really does him a disservice with that, like, cross that's a web comic of his deeds leading up to that point, stitched onto his chest, is a pretty lame design. It does not look good. I do not know why he has his past and things that have not happened yet that he knows of, or things that happen that he doesn't know about, embroidered on some sort of flesh thing. Like, it's just, that's super lame. It looks dumb. It doesn't work super well. But like, yeah, that and the one part of the game that stinks is the basically the only 2 bad things I can say about it. It's a great thing. The tapestry tattoo. Thank you. Yes. Literally, my fingers do not move that quickly. Fair. Also, Shadow of the Damned, but now I'm going off track. I think I have Shadow of the Damned that I got for free from like Epic or something. I poorly cannot press buttons quickly. QTEs and Mario Party minigames do not get along. Oh, that's fair. Alright, it's almost 2. I did what I needed to do today, and I got some more stuff I gotta do, so I'm gonna end it. I like the restream bot in YouTube. Informs me that Talion is talking and posts it in the YouTube chat. So it like shows up on here and everything. But it shows where it's from. So it says Kick, Talion Baratheon. As in, it's from Kick, but it looks like someone's trying to kick you out. You got here just in time, you did. You're 2 hours late. We start at noon. Does it? Hang on. Well, now I gotta look. Shadow of the Damned. I thought it had a... Oh, maybe it doesn't. Why do I think I have this game? Did I accidentally pick it up somewhere? Hang my head. Shame. I'm sorry, Talion. I didn't mean to shame you. Ban Talion. Marty's influence grows. Was it? Does it getting... Gameplay development. Is there reception? Legacy. No, I don't see. Also by Electronic Arts. Wow, that's 2 games for them. Marty would be on board to ban me for my highlighted message shenanigans. Nice. Oh, it's getting released on Switch. I still don't know why I think I have it then. But good to know. Also, I've been playing Resident Evil 5 on Switch a little bit with my partner because it's a co-op game. We love that. I'm kind of impressed how it doesn't play super well on a console that comes a generation after the console it was released on. So, like, that thing came out for 360, PS3. I'm playing it on Switch, and it feels like it's, like, struggling a little bit. Hey, what's up, Monday? Happy Hump Day! Happy Hump Day to you, too. Just in time to say goodbye. Because we made our thing. It doesn't run great. It feels like it's struggling a little bit. Like I think it's locked at like 30 frames per second, and maybe it's just my eyes are used to seeing things at 60 now, so 30 seems weird. But yeah, it seems like stuff just doesn't quite work as well as it should. I'm going to play that game again, but I'll play co-op with a buddy. Oh yeah, I have no idea how that game would play solo, but like co-op so far, pretty fun. Because I like co-op games. Oh, I have Resi 4 on Switch, and it does the same sputter. Really? Dang, that's brutal. Even though I'm sure it's the HD version and not like the original version. But still, on Switch. Oh, Jesse, the new retro 3MR love child of 3MR design schedule. Basically, yes. They were curious about trying to do a retro 3MR, and so I got to do one on Silent Hill 3 to test the waters. So, like, when things are coming up with some sort of anniversary, they're like, well, maybe we should do a 3MR on it. So they're testing that. So if you want to see more of those, do a bunch of positive sayings for for mine, for Silent Hill 3. There might be some other ones coming out. I don't actually know if anybody else started them. Adventures Night Season 3, Episode 1 was great. Thanks, Lost Cause. I really like it. I'm glad you like it, too. I have to finish watching it, but I still really like it, because I was there. Lame, but understandable. Yeah, PCs. Lame. They finally patched out games for Windows Live. What a disgrace. Games for Windows Live. Yeah, what I like when we tried to play it on PC, I had to do a whole bunch of work to get it to actually function, because it also was doing the same thing of Games for Windows Live, and it was like, you gotta sign into Games for Windows Live. And it's like, this isn't a service anymore. I can't. And it's like, get bent. You can't play it. So I had to find a way to circumvent that. So good to know that they fixed that. I'll die on the hill, man. Marty is right. I don't want to play the weakest in the main Resi franchise and do my taxes. Is it the weakest though? Because I haven't finished Resi 5 yet, but I would say Outbreak is definitely weaker than Resident Evil 5. I used to own Outbreak. I do not own it anymore. That game is definitely weaker. Also weaker than 6. Yeah, Games for Windows Live. Carbureted, yeah, it did. Same thing was happening with Fallout 3. I don't know if that's been fixed or not. Resi 6 is much worse. I love Resi 6. It's a great two-player game. Switch announced 2 underrated games, in my opinion, but I haven't heard anything about Shadow of the Damned or Batkin Kaitos, since their announcement was by Kinkatos. Everyone says 6, but 6 is better than 5, in my opinion. But I mean the main numbered series. Oh, okay, that's fair. Main numbered, sure. I feel like Outbreak is basically... It was a PS2 full boxed release that got Outbreak File 2, a numbered sequel. I feel like it counts as a mainline game. I also feel like Revelations should count too, which I played Revelations 2. That's a great game. I haven't played Revelations 1. Let's see. There's some pretty spotty entries series, yeah. Reminds me of Quantum Break, which had all kinds of cutscenes on proprietary video service that they shut down. So Honey Bunny had to just keep looking them up on YouTube when she played. Gosh, what an embarrassment. I can't explain Baton Caius. Okay, well then let me just look it up. Ah, so it's one of them sword boys. One of them fire emblems. Oh. HD 1 and 2 remaster. Is it a JRPG? I'm guessing. Revelations 1 and 2 both slap, to be honest. 2 is really good. I assume 1 is also good. But 2 has co-op, so that's why we played it. 1 does not, so. Shit connected to Resident 0 hits with Outbreak. I think so. Also, that's a good point, Resident Evil 0. That's one some people really do not like. I want to play it again. Because I played it on GameCube and wasn't feeling it, and I'm curious if that was my fault or the game's fault. It looks like one, but it's not. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's a role-playing game. Monolith Soft? Wait, which Monolith Soft? Because there's multiple ones. Okay, this is the Xeno Chronicle, not the Shadow of Mordor and Fear, I think. Lover as E0, I am in the minority. It's better than 5 and not better than 6. But I can get it on PC. I kind of want to play it and give it the old shot. I remember there was I was disappointed in the monsters because I think there's like legitimately the boss on the train is just a scorpion with the model sized up, and I was like, yeah, it's okay. But later you fight grasshoppers, right? And they're literally just grasshoppers, but they're real big. I might be mixing that up with something else. Okay. So is it an action RPG? If it's not turn-based? A lot of the enemies in 0x, but really big. Yeah, and I feel like that's lame for Resident Evil because you just got such cool things. Oh yeah, giant frogs. Which is basically just a hunter was basically just a giant frog, but bipedal with claws. So it's like, come on, you were like 50% of the way there. Oh yeah, the infected monkeys. Yeah, I remember being very disappointed by the monsters. Because they're not monsters. It makes sense because it was like early T-virus, so it was like they were just experimenting on things. So they weren't like mutated yet. But like that's lame. It's not freaking Earth Defense Force. Like, I do want some mutation in my Resident Evil. Giant centipede? Giant centipede, kind of scary, but also it's just a centipede, and I find those creepy. So, like, that's fair. Oh man, my Slack is about to blow up, sorry. The action is turn-based, but use cards as poker rules. We get a hand combo for more damage defense. Oh, that's cool. Alright, that's neat. Alright. Thanks, everybody. It's 2 o'clock. I gotta stop. I got things I gotta do. But I made this. Anything that can stab me with its tail / butt is unsettling. Yeah. Those butt stabs, very unsettling. Fun addition strategy. I do like the idea of that. Maybe when it comes out, I'll give it a shot. I don't raid with these, so I guess I just stopped the stream. So thanks everybody for coming. I might have to try something different with RPG Help Desk for the stream. I'm kicking around an idea for doing this a little differently. But talking will still be involved in a lower capacity. But every week I do something about RPGs here, so you're welcome to come back. Thanks for stream. Take it easy. You too, Lost Cause. If you like the retro reviews and you want more, then definitely say so. Because I know right now that's just something they're like touching on that has no commitment. So if it's something you want to see more of, definitely be heard. And I hope you enjoy my review. I don't know. I guess that's it. Thanks, Lost Cause. Thanks, Deeps. Thanks, Blight. Thanks, Talion. Thanks, Monday. Thanks, Discordia. Thanks, Besmirch. Thanks, Tonal. I hope you all have an excellent day. New potato pick drop. How you might use Discord? Aww, pick a potato. Cute. Alright, I'm out of here. You all have a good one. Maybe I'll see you tonight at the Pirate stream on Escapist. But if not, I hope you enjoy whatever it is you are doing.